One of the keys to success for college students is how well you communicate with your professors. So today we're going to be talking about some of the reasons why you might want to communicate with your professors. You might want to ask questions about the course material, ask about specific study strategies that they might have for that course. You might want to discuss problems you're having in that class. You might want to discuss concerns that you have regarding a grade for a paper or on a test item. You might want to notify your professor of days ahead of time or reasons for being absent. You might want to ask the professor questions about the department or major. You might want to get mentoring on careers in the field, to work on research projects together with your professors, or ask for letters of recommendation. There are lots of reasons that make it difficult for students to consider approaching their professors, so I'm going to cover a couple of them. You might not have a strong sense of comfort regarding any new situation. You might fear showing ignorance or lack of understanding of the course material. You might feel intimidated or embarrassed about missing classes. You might feel like your questions aren't important. Your professors have status and evaluate you. You might be fearful of a confrontation, or you might feel some discomfort about approaching a professor of a different age, gender, race, or culture than you. Here's some questions for you to consider. What makes it difficult for you to talk to your professors? What do you have to lose by doing so? And would you be better off or worse off if you talked with your professor? These are good questions for you to keep in mind at any point along the time that you're here at the university. Some suggestions for getting to know your professors include introducing yourself, sitting up front in class, asking questions in class when you don't understand something. This will benefit not only you but other students in the class, because oftentimes they can be confused about the same material as you are. You want to make sure that you communicate respectfully and courteously, and anytime you know in advance about reasons that you'll not be in class, let the professor know as soon as possible. Some examples might include religious observation, music or choir, athletic events, things like that are university-sponsored events might be good reasons to tell your professor you're not going to be in class. Also, you want to seek help as soon as you recognize that you have a problem. It's best to make an appointment before talking with your professor, or visit the professor during their office hours to discuss concerns. Even though the professor has posted office hours, there are at times things that might come up within their department or meetings that they need to attend that will make it impossible for them to be there during office hours. So keep in mind that to save yourself frustration, it's always a good idea to let your professor know ahead of time that you plan to be there. Write down the points you want to discuss or the questions you want to ask ahead of time. This is always helpful for you to use your time very efficiently when you're with the professor. You want to explain your situation to your professor so they understand what assistance you might need, as well as discuss alternatives if you're facing a particular problem. Professors might refer you to other sources of help, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But first I want to talk about another way of communicating with your professor. That is emailing. Things for you to keep in mind is that your professor might not respond immediately. You may email on the weekend or late at night, and they may not check their email until Monday. Emailing about your grades, complaints, or asking what you've missed in a class is not a good idea. If you've missed an entire class, it's not the professor's responsibility to get you up to date on what you missed. You want to use the subject line to list the name of your course, and it's always important to keep in mind that you want to communicate professionally as you would with any employer. Pay attention to your grammar, use your spell check, but don't rely on it exclusively. Proofread as well. Many times I get email from students that I can tell they have used spell check, however they're using an inappropriate word. They may be relying on their spell check, but you need to keep in mind that it's very important to proofread as well. Some of the places that your professor might refer you would include Counseling and Psychological Services located in Stewart Hall, 103. You can find information about what Counseling and Psychological Services does on their webpage, but it's important to keep in mind that all their services are free and confidential. And we provide 3 basic types of services. So we do personal counseling, we do career exploration counseling, and also learning support. So if there are patterns of behavior that are getting in the way for you with your studies, Counseling and Psychological Services is a good place for you to consider. The Academic Learning Center is another good place for you to consider, and they're located at 222 Centennial Hall. They also have a great website, and they provide 3 types of study skill assistance: time management, general studies, strategies, and test taking. They have individualized computer programs that you can work through on your own time when there are no classes in the lab, but they also offer 2 classes such as reading and study skills and power reading. These are extremely valuable courses, and I hear from students that are even seniors taking this class find it very valuable and they wish they would have taken it sooner. The Mass Skills Center is another good place for you to consider. It's located in Centennial Hall 224. They offer 2 classes and they do tutoring as well. The right place is located in Building 51 in room 117, and basically you can get assistance with specific problems that you might have regarding your writing. Tutors won't tell you what to write, nor will they copy, edit your papers for you. Instead, they will help you develop strategies to make you a good writer. They also have tutoring sessions online, but you have to schedule those ahead of time. Multicultural Student Services is another good place for you to consider getting help. They're located, the Multicultural Academic Support Center is located in the Education Building, B121. Good luck and continued success at SESU.